It was awful. We didn't have any money. It was impossible to meet anybody. Oh my God, I can't even tell you how bad this was. How many times have you wanted something so bad? I mean, you really, really wanted that so badly, and you got it. And it turned out not to be at all what you thought. In fact, sometimes it turns out really bad. This morning I was thinking of this story that my mom used to tell me about. When she was a little girl, she used to spend her summers with her grandparents, and they owned and operated a cotton farm. She used to sit there and watch the men out picking cotton. They didn't have turbines, nothing was mechanical. They had farm workers, and they went and picked the cotton by hand. And she thought that looked so cool. She wanted to do it so bad. And so she would pester her grandfather, my great-great-grandfather, and one day he just got tired of her nagging at him. And he said, okay, see that row? That's your row. You have to pick that row of cotton. Well, we're not talking about a small farm. I think that row probably went for a mile or more. She got about 4 feet in and started crying because picking cotton, even with gloves, is not very easy. And she went back to him and said, I can't do it. And he said, that's too bad. This is what you wanted. This is what you're gonna do. And she spent all day picking that row of cotton. Never asked again. It's just so funny when you think back to things you really wished you could have avoided, but you put yourself there. My husband and I, we hadn't been married very long. My son was still a baby. We were living in Los Angeles, and we were thinking, wouldn't it be great to live in a small community? You know, sort of a Doc Hollywood thing. We're gonna go to this small town, and everyone in the town are gonna open their arms to us, and we're gonna be part of this great rural community, and life's gonna be simple and wonderful. So we sold almost everything we had. We bought a van, and we moved to this little tiny town in the Four Corners in Colorado. I think population was like 600, and it was awful. It was so bad. We didn't have any money. It was impossible to meet anybody. It was 20 miles to the nearest grocery store. Oh my God, I can't even tell you how bad this was. So Kevin was able to get a job as a substitute teacher. And we had nothing. We listened to the radio for entertainment. We didn't even have a television. When he finally got paid, they paid him at the end of the semester. We had a choice. We could buy a television, or we could get the hell out of Dodge. We left, and that was a good lesson, trust me. And it's so hard when we don't get what we want, when we run into those walls that stop us. But I think those walls are there because we're not supposed to go in that direction. They're there to turn us into a different direction, the place maybe we're supposed to go. And I don't know whether you believe God and an angel is watching after you, or you believe in destiny, or just luck. Those things are there for a reason, I think. Even though it's hard, I think they turn out to be blessings in disguise. I think if there were a moral of some sort to these sorts of situations that we find ourselves in, it's just to trust that the things that you don't get, the things that you think you want that seem out of reach, sometimes it's that way for a reason. Or maybe like my mother on that cotton picking day, moral is, farming is hard work, Mama. As always, I hope you find you're happy.